Some of you may not like this. So first, let me discuss the drawing. The drawing itself is an idea that I've seen on YouTube several times. I've never tried it, but I wanted to change it a little bit, make it a little bit more my style. So instead of just using black and white, I'm going to put a watercolor wash in the background, then do the drawing over the top and see if it creates anything interesting. I don't know. I've never done it before. This is the first time for me. It's the first time for you. We're sharing this experience. As far as the video goes, I've done a couple of these in the past. I wanted to do a series of like 10 of them and put them into one long video, but I only got to 2. So that didn't help. So this is a continuation of the Twisted Sense tales. I love doing these little mind rambles and just going on like it's a regular story. I think it sounds pretty interesting, at least to me it does, and I have fun doing it. That's the most important part. So I'm going to do this one. Like I said, I get to like 10 or something. I'm just going to cut out the drawings and the voice from each one of them, put them all together in like a group of 10, and just let them run from beginning to end in one video. I think that'd be interesting, but I'm going to continue with this. I hope you like it. I know some of you don't. You've already clicked off it. I'm not even talking to you anymore. So here we go. We're going to get into it. I hope you enjoy it. There was a winding path leading from the house on the hill. As I passed by, there was a whistle, not unlike the toy I had when I was 10. Walking home from school, passing by the candy store, which had all sorts of goodies looking to lure the neighborhood children in with their nickel candy bins. The first thing I noticed was Charleston Chew. They had all the flavors. I would take them and freeze them in the freezer at my grandmother's house. A nice split-level home with an apartment on the lower level. My mother and I stayed there when I was 4 years old. Not long, and then we were on our way past a field where I would gather the neighborhood children and play baseball. There was this one day in the field where the strangest storm I've ever seen snuck up on us, and it was raining on one side of the field but not the other, and then it suddenly turned and reversed course, much like the winds of a twister which go wherever they may, in line or a swirl or a hop, skip, and a jump, like children playing in a schoolyard might. The school along the way home was like that, but not like the one across the street, which was cold and damp and abandoned long ago when they decided to grow and expand like an alien pod as you feed it more and more and more from people in the surrounding area. One day it became so large you could not contain it any longer, and it falls on the floor like a piece of food waiting for the dog to come around and lick it up, the whole time just making the spot more and more wet like the floor of the shower after you've spent time cleaning it. But don't worry. It's easy to dry off with the right kind of towel, not made of paper or sand like the beach we went to the one day while days were still short and the wind was calm. The sun just coming up over the water like a flame, bouncing and dancing on the wick of a candle, which stood in the window waiting for everyone to come home. Would they come home today? Maybe tomorrow. That is a sad story we will not explore today, as the time passes a little slower with each breath you take as the sun starts to set. There may be a little bit more to this story after all. As we read on, we see the heroes of the story emerge victorious and triumphant, galloping away without ever sharing what they have learned and misunderstood about the narrative we have been fed by the writer of the story they never finished. These are the times we live and must move forward without the satisfaction of jumping into a pile of leaves or scattering the seeds of a dandelion, but don't worry about such things. You're safe, warm and secure in your home without a care in the world as you drink your hot chocolate and get a little whipped cream on your nose and chuckle to yourself, wondering where the time has gone since you last opened the cupboard and found nothing but a can of beans for your next meal. Was there a way to explore this further, you thought to yourself, or was this the end of a delightful little tale where you once were but now are not, and you think to yourself in a very deep but warm and caring voice, what a wonderful world. The place where we wake and explore, we laugh and we cry, and we meet such interesting people by the side of the road of life that we begin to question everything within our thoughts and tendencies which our mind were formed into thinking before we have the experience we are now thinking of. What a funny thought! To experience the wave of ideas we experience through the experience we had to form the thought we were having. It's fun to think about, and we do, but only for a moment, and then we move on with our lives from the place where we are to the place we will go and become the people we will become. The people who will drive the cars and dig the earth and write the stories which we then read to escape driving the cars and digging the earth and writing the stories. There's a way about this world that we can't quite put our finger on, like a key or a piano. The first time you try, there's a note. It's a sour note, but a pleasing one until you add more. You don't really know if the first one was even good, but you expect everything to follow along the same path, which was soothing, but could be the wrong direction, which is where the path has led me along this twisted sense tale. But as I make my way back, I'm caught by surprise that the path I was just traveling on had stopped. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I sure did. I'm going to do some more of these a little bit. I don't know why. The last 2 years I've only done 2. This is number 3. I want to do one maybe like once every couple months and just fill it in there. It's a short video, but it's just something to fill in some space. And like I said, I enjoy these. I hope you enjoyed the drawing too. If you've never done that kind of drawing before, you see how quickly it develops. You just start with a little this and that, and as you go, it's like, oh, all of a sudden that pattern grows pretty quickly. So thumbs up the video if you're going to try that kind of drawing, and maybe one of those word rambles. You just do that yourself. I know writers do it sometimes, and they just write whatever, and I think it's called free writing or something like that. They just write whatever's on their mind in a continuous sentence, and they just keep going. It's fun. I like doing it, and you would like doing it too, I'm sure. That's about it for me. I'll see you in the next one.